Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your old pal CHH here. Stop the presses. Put down the Blu-rays. Get rid of your DVD. Actually, no. Don't get rid of your DVDs. Keep your DVDs. And also, why don't you go start looking for some of these cool DVDs at the flea markets or used DVD stores? Because I think that DVDs are going to come back one day. Everything is a circle. It's like a circle. And I think, legitimately, some of these DVDs are going to start to be worth money. They're going to be sought after. And they're going to become collector's items. Everything is worthy down the road, it seems like. Or a lot of the stuff that we get into. It's the telltale thing we do. We get stuff. The next thing comes out. We either sell it, huck it, get rid of it, and then we regret it. So I want to go through some DVDs, some vintage horror DVDs that I think you should own. But not necessarily go out and pay a bunch of money for it. Just try to find, keep your eyes out. And I'll tell you why as we go through it. So let's get started. And what better way to start than with the classic MGM DVD of The Return of the Living Dead. This is so cool because this release was created because of the fans getting in touch with Dan O'Bannon and saying, hey, why hasn't Return of the Living Dead hit DVD? There was a big petition that was signed, and Dan was very instrumental with getting in touch with the people from MGM who owned the picture, and he got it put out. And there was also special features that came out on this back in the day. There's a commentary with Dan O'Bannon, Designing the Dead featurette, which has been ported over multiple times. But this is just a classic, great DVD, and I've always kept mine ever since the first day I got it. Obviously, I didn't get it when it just came out, because I think it came out in 1999. But it is wicked awesome. Hold on to it. Don't get rid of it. Okay, now this one is kind of really sought after. Keep your eyes peeled. Even if you don't like this movie, it's still worthy to have. Return to Sleepaway Camp. This is the one where Felissa Rose returned in 2003, and then the film didn't get released till 2008. Isaac Hayes is in it. It's the movie that's ridiculously quotable in all the wrong ways, but it is hysterical. This was Magnet. They've never put out a Blu-ray. They've never reissued it. We don't know why or how, so keep your eyes out for Return to Sleepaway Camp. Next up, guys, we've got the classic Rumpelstiltskin. This is the Artisan DVD. This is not a bootleg. This is the actual DVD I have. My buddy John Flesher hooked me up with a spare copy he had. The video store just had to print this out on a computer. But this is lost on physical media. This is the only way to own this, is this DVD. Will it ever get a release from Vestron or something like that? I'm assuming Lionsgate owns Republic Pictures now. Who knows? I don't know. But as for now, this is the only way to watch this movie. Keep your eyes peeled for this. Keep your eyes peeled for the DVD of Rumpelstiltskin. Now, what's really cool is before all this Blu-ray stuff was happening, around 2009 and 10, Walmart used to make these horror collections. And they're just so nostalgia-driven. I love these. I used to get these all the time in 2009 and 10. And look at this. Look at this collection right here. Bride of Reanimator, Beyond Reanimator, Return of the Living Dead 3, Necropolis, Rave to the Grave, and then the Sid Haig Night of the Living Dead 3D, which I plan on doing a review of that movie, the Night of the Living Dead 3D movie. But if you see these for cheap, they're fun to have. They're just really, they really capture a certain period of time where you could go to Walmart and get all these classic horror films we love now in bad picture quality. But at the time, it was the coolest thing because you would spend $6 on that and you'd get all those classics. Maybe not all of them are classics, but with that being said, I still think I did videos on these movies, The Return of the Living Dead, Necropolis, and Rave to the Grave. And the stories are fascinating. Go check out those videos I did. It's just the rise and fall of Necropolis. It's a great video. I go into detail about what happened. This movie wasn't supposed to be this cheap thing. But these are the only way to own these movies, too. So these are like, part of horror history in a sense. These are the only ways you can have this movie. These DVDs and those collections, of course. On DVD is what I mean. Not necessarily this is the only way, like on DVD. But yes, Necropolis. This movie is so ridiculously bad. I did a review on this as well. Go out and get Children of the Living Dead from Artisan. This is a horrible film, but it's hysterical. And then you get to see Tom Savini be an action star for 15 minutes. Then it gets laughably bad. Look at the pictures on the back. This movie's hysterical. Go check out my review I did on Children of the Living Dead. But this is anything that says Artisan, get your hands on it. That means it's vintage. All right, Return of the Living Dead 2 vintage DVD. Why should you have this? Because the score is completely different on this. Now, there was a big thing. I've talked about this a million times. I'll say it one more time in this video. There was this big thing about the soundtrack of some kind of lawsuit. And that's why the DVD had different music. I've done research up, down, left, right. I've never seen anything about a lawsuit. What I think happened was when the movie was getting made, there was a score made that Ken Wiederhorn did not like. He put the music onto the film, then sent it over to somebody at Lorimar and says, look what I mean, the music doesn't work. I don't like this. Then we got the music that was on the VHS tapes and everything, and that got brought over to the Blu-rays. What I think happened is they ported a version of the film with the original score that didn't get used. That's what I think happened. And this makes this, regardless of whether I'm right or not, this makes this a piece of history because it's got a score that's never been used again. The good old Good Times DVDs. You got to get your hands on these if you see them. They're just too funny. These came out in like the late 90s for Halloween 2 and 3 with wacky artwork. Just wacky artwork with a Halloween 2 pumpkin with green eyes. The other Return of the Living Dead Rave to the Grave DVD. This is another fun one. I actually enjoyed this film a lot more than I thought I would. I did a review on this as well, and I told the story about what happened with this. But these are the only ways you can own these movies is they're on DVD. It's the only way. These are classic. If you see these, just grab them just to have them. One of the releases I remember getting a long time ago that I think is really cool, this is from 2008, is Chud, the cult classic films from Anchor Bay. This is the heyday of Anchor Bay right here. But I got these, and these are really cool. Slip cover and everything. So it's cool that DVD stuff, there used to be some really good DVD stuff that, you know, that it had good presentation. All right, we got to talk about House of 1,000 Corpses. Why do you need this? Because of that menu screen. You already know what I was going to say. But you got to have House of 1,000 Corpses, the DVD. The menu screen is amazing. I think it even says on here in the special features. No, it doesn't say anything about it, but it should say, you know, interactive menu screen. But if you're like me, sometimes you just sit there and let Sid Haig talk. Just let him talk. Okay, I hope this strikes a nerve with somebody out there. The only way you can own this series, as far as I know, is on DVD, The Hitchhiker. A collection of 10 Tales of Horror, HBO. I love the theme song to this show. And I really like the show, The Hitchhiker. Somebody that was around during this time that watched this can probably tell you more about this, the history, if there was things about it. I got really lucky and got it for $7.95. I think it's fairly expensive. But if you see this, grab it. This is an old HBO series, horror series, and I loved it. Let's go listen to the music. Go look it up. But if somebody out there has some memories of this, please drop in the comments below and tell me about your experiences with Hitchhiker, please. Yeah, if you see that, grab it. Don't hesitate, grab it. Let's talk about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, these were really cool, and I think that these are going to become expensive down the road. I really do, because they're just going to be like, oh, look at that. Dark Sky Films was doing really nice releases back then, and this is the gold steelbook for the DVD. Remastered, too. It says it's a high-definition transfer from the original camera negative. I don't remember how well it looked. I know it looked pretty good, but like I said, this was a really fun classic release. If you see that, I mean, consider it. I think it's a really cool release. All right, guys, if you see this, I don't care if you have 4K or not, go grab the classic DVD for Trick or Treat. Look at that artwork with modern day, at the time, Ozzy and Gene Simmons on the front. That's hysterical. That is just hysterical to me. Honestly, if you're 4K, you're going to be like, I don't need that. I'm just ready for 4K. But a lot of people aren't 4K. And I have a feeling maybe that Synapse won't include the Blu-ray in that release. And then you're out of luck. So, like, if you see this DVD for Trick or Treat, and yes, even though, like, this looks nothing like the artwork from the poster, nothing, this is, in fact, this is Trick or Treat. And this was put out by Platinum Disc Corporation. So keep your eyes peeled on that. All right, so when Full Moon was getting into physical media for DVDs and stuff, they were outsourcing to a company called Kangaroo Video, and they were putting together fun little collections. And I love these. I think these are about as classic as you can get. So this is the Full Moon Classic Volume 1 box set, and it comes with Arcade, Bad Channels, Netherworld, which is getting a Blu-ray, and I can't wait. I love that movie. Seed People, and Shadow Zone. And they all have individual DVD cases too. Unfortunately, the artwork is all the same on them. They just show like the artwork that they have with the name of the movie at the bottom. But as a physical media person, it's nice to have something like this that has cool art on the front and it's got individual cases. It's always fun when you get little box sets. The classic Prom Night 3 and Prom Night 4 Artisan DVD. As far as I know, this is the only way you can own these movies. And I love Prom Night 3, The Last Kiss. That's such a fun movie. Prom Night 4 is not bad. I like 4 too, but 3 I think is really fun. And I'm praying Vinegar Syndrome upscales this one day or gives it a nice Blu-ray or 4K. But like, this is it. And I think this is actually the cut version, not the uncut version. But I don't know how you could get the uncut version. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's on the Laserdisc or whatnot, but Prom Night 3, and this is Artisan as well. So, like I said, if you see anything that has Artisan on it, it could be worthy of, like, a high price. So, as you can see, I'm not going to shove the Nightmare on Elm Street box set down your throat or anything like that, but I do want to show this from Friday the 13th that I just think is super cool and fun. The vintage New Line Jason Slasher collection that comes with Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, and Freddy vs. Jason. I remember getting this the day it came out, or right around the day it came out from Walmart, and I always thought it was a really cool presentation box set. It was right around the release of the remake, and I just thought it was a cool cover art. It's fun to have, and it's little skinny cases for the movies. So, I don't know. I think it's fun. And like I said, I collect Friday the 13th physical media, so every time I saw something, I was getting it. I just think that one's really fun. And last but not least, another Artisan DVD, a double pack of the Howling 4 and Howling 5 and 6. I like Howling 6. The Rebirth is kind of slow and boring, but look at the artwork on the front of that. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. So, again, Artisan. So, moral of the story of this video is if it says Artisan on it, if you get it cheap, your safe bet is to just grab it. Because some of those Artisan stuff is just about as classic as you can get. So, that is a slew of vintage horror DVDs I want you to own. So, next time you go out and about, or if you go into a big store, just go browse that DVD section. I know the picture quality is not necessarily great on some of them, but look at it as just memorabilia. Look at it as pieces of history and time, because that's why I've kept a lot of my DVDs. Like, they remind me of a time where, like, DVD was not only the format, but, like, you know, a lot of movies were getting, you know, good releases back then too. Maybe not to today's standard, but at that time they were great releases. So, you know, keep that in mind, guys, and just you know, always be looking out there. Always be when you walk past something at a store, if you see a wall of DVDs, just take that few minutes and just go browse. You never know what you're gonna see, and for a great price, guys. So, thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you have any vintage DVDs that you own that you want to share about, let me know down below and tell me maybe some places you go to find cool DVDs, so we can all kind of like venture out and, you know, get each other's tips and things like that. So thank you for watching. Good old CHH. We'll see you guys next time. Huge giant thank you to all of my Patreon supporters. Without you guys, this would not be possible. To get behind the scenes photos, videos, music, private live streams, and much more, you can subscribe to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Thank you to my patrons.